Hello, I'm Mark Stept, and I want to thank everyone for taking the time to attend today's webinar. It is such an exciting time to be in business intelligence, and especially Power BI. Many of our clients have asked us about our BI practice, so we've created this webinar to give you a better understanding of the BI world, along with a walkthrough and tour of our Dynamics NAV Power BI report pack that includes dashboards and KPIs that we have built. Our Power BI report pack is a low-cost solution that does not require a data warehouse. Today, data is coming from everywhere, and managing it is what is important to you. Your customers, your products, your people, your operations. Our job at Clients First, along with Power BI, is to help you make sense of your data and help employees make better decisions. What excites our customers is that Power BI helps them drive a data culture. Facts replace opinions. It's not just who you know that matters, but what you know. So let's get started. Today's objectives. First, we're going to look at traditional reporting versus BI dashboards and KPIs. Then we will look at Power BI and the Power BI components. Third, we will show you the Power BI report pack dashboards and KPIs that we built. And fourth, we will show you how easy it is to put Power BI on every desktop. When we think about reporting, what is the ultimate goal? The ultimate goal of reporting is to make a better business decision. If you're a purchasing agent, inventory levels and sales trends are critical. If you're a sales manager, understanding customer sales, salesperson sales statistics, sales by product line, or sales by territory are critical elements to have a successful sales team. If you're a CFO, you would be interested in profit and loss, cash flow, and expense and cost reporting. Traditionally, reports are narrowly focused and may initiate a short-term action. Essentially, they're micro, and they're designed for the operational staff. An example of a traditional report would be an outstanding sales order status report. Here, this lists customers, items, and their expected shipment date. It generates an action of perhaps why aren't these items shipped, and it could eventually have staff looking into the possible reasons. Dashboards are a little bit different. Dashboards and KPIs are looking at more expansive data sets and relationships. They are macro and designed for management decision making. They are also more likely to combine multiple data, and they're more summarized trend analysis than of detail level reporting. So when it comes to business intelligence and looking at trends and analysis, before you begin, we want to think about what information will help me make those better business decisions. Am I currently collecting the data that I need? What are the key KPIs that I need for my business? Do I need real-time data? What details do I need displayed? And essentially, do I need a report or a BI dashboard? So now comes Power BI. Power BI is a business analytics service that delivers insights to enable fast and informed decisions. Power BI transforms your data into stunning visuals and allows you to share these reports, to other colleagues on either your PC or even your phone. Power BI allows you to visually explore and analyze data, whether you're on premise or in the cloud. It allows scalability across the organization with building governance and security. So let's take a step back. And what are the components of Power BI? Firstly, there needs to be a process of extracting data. We have developed ODATA web services queries to allow Power BI to access data from various tables in your NAV software. The Power BI desktop is the development tool to design reports. This software is free. From the Power BI desktop, once a report is developed, it would then be published. That, when it's published, it goes into the Power BI service. And then it is accessed by the Power BI web client. It's the web clients that where all the reports are shared. It does require a monthly Power BI Pro subscription, and users would be required to be either on OT65, or if that's not available in your organization, also either that or Azure Active Directory. Lastly, there's another component that's also installed. It's called the Power BI Gateway. That's more of a technical software that is the connection point between the Power BI web client and the actual data source, either the queries, or if you're using a BI, if you were to use a BI warehouse, it would be that connecting point to there. So the next part of the webinar, we'd like to show you what we've built. So Clients First has built OData web service queries, and that significantly lowers the cost of transforming data than having a full-blown data warehouse. Using these queries, Clients First has developed Power BI KPI reports based on our clients' most common requests. Those reports include the sales dashboard, the inventory dashboard, the AR analysis and credit management dashboard, and the GL and cash position dashboard. Let's now take a look at those reports. Firstly, I'm going to sign into the Power BI web client. Here, I've placed my reports that I'm showing in this webinar into my favorites area. As an introduction, these reports are showing data from a database called the Jet Corp. So Power BI is accessing various tables from the Jet Corp database, the Vision database. Let's start with the sales dashboard. And we will start with the sales performance tab. You'll notice a few things. Firstly, our sales dashboard is actually multiple reports, allowing your sales team to access various data points, allow analysis and slicing and dicing of your information. The sales performance shows a trend analysis year by year with monthly buckets. And also, it shows the sales per salesperson on a bar chart on a relative scale. Power BI allows the users to actually focus and click on various visuals, such as I'll click on Annette Hill's bar chart area. Notice that the data has now changed, and I'm now getting only Annette Hill sales on the trend analysis. And I'll unclick to remove that. I can also look at a pie chart of sales by item category, and here we will look at just the caps item category. And again, once I click on that, you'll notice that all of the data now has changed. Let's move on to the other tabs. The sales profit tab answers the following questions. Just because my salesperson brings in the highest sales doesn't mean that it necessarily brings the highest profit to the company. On this tab, we're looking at the profit from each salesperson on a relative basis and allows us to do analysis. One of my favorite tabs is the sales year over year. This tab will show us on the left-hand side is again the trend analysis a year by year with monthly buckets. But then I'll choose variance. We can get a year-to-year variance. And we have conditional formatting where if a monthly bucket year over year is negative, it will show up in red. We can also look at our statistics at a percentage basis. So now I'm looking at our statistics here, not in the amount is a difference, but in percentage differences. And again, here we'll see that in 2018 in January we had 1.35% less sales than the year before. At the bottom of the totals, it looks like in general we're trending up, except for the year 2016, which was a negative from the year before. Some of the amazing visuals that are available are maps. Here we're looking at sales by state, and we can actually drill into the map and look at relative sales in regions. What about sales by customer? Here in the sales by top customers, we're ranking customers as on descending order. This visual allows us to actually drill up or down. Here I'm looking at the customer volatile systems and actually the items that they sold. I can drill up on a more summarized basis where I'm just listing customers. Or again, we can drill down here and look at customers and then exactly what items were sold to those customers. Sales top items. What were my top sales? We can choose any type of slicer. Here I'm looking at a global dimension 1, which is events or corporate here. And lastly, we have sales returns. We provided this KPI and dashboard in our report so that our clients can understand sales returns, which is often an area that has the least amount of data and is analyzed. Here we can spot trends on products or customers that are the highest items highest in returns. So that is our sales dashboard. Let's continue and let's look at the inventory dashboard together. Our inventory overview, value overview dashboard area will show the items with the highest value and the quantity available in the warehouse. We have a pie chart that looks at the relative value of our inventory per warehouse. And again, we can look at one warehouse and click on that. That's where AD Warehouse 2 or LA Warehouse 1. And again, as we click, the numbers change, allowing us to see the exact information that we need. We also have in our inventory dashboard historical value. As you'll notice here, we're looking at the value of locations year over year and understanding trends to see if any of the warehouses have more or less inventory than previous years, and trending in a line chart to look at the relative value of inventory per warehouse. The last tab is a very interesting that was introduced by Power BI recently, which is called Question and Answers. This allows a user in natural language to ask a question, and Power BI will attempt to create a visual to answer that question. So let's ask the following question. Show me a list of items and quantity for caps in ADWHS1, which is the warehouse. So in plain language, I've asked the system to list the items and the quantity for the items that are under the caps item category only in the AD Warehouse 1. You'll notice that the quantity here is 15,973 of all the caps. If I were to change the warehouse to warehouse 2, notice how it has now changed. So that is one of the amazing features of Power BI, that it now asks that a user can now use natural language, ask a question, and the data in the Power BI dashboard will attempt to answer that question. Let's continue on and look at our next report, which will be the AR and credit management. This report has an overview and detail section of the report. On the overview, we now get a quick dashboard that our total outstanding accounts receivable is 52 million, and over 90 days is 26.12 million. The other charts here, looking at per customer and looking the relative value of the AR between current 30, 60, and 90 days. The overview by aging is looking at the entire system on a relative basis. As we move on to the AR details, what this visual will show us is our customers and their aging. This visual also allows us to do a drill down if we would like to look at specific invoices of that customer. And which buckets they fall into. We've introduced a third tab called the credit management. What this tab highlights is if a customer is above their credit limit, this is a management tool to allow users of this report to help manage them and spot which one of my customers are actually above that credit limit. If we click on Peter Sato, who has 2, we notice there are 2 customers in red that are above their credit limit. We show the actual amount of the AR, we give the credit limit, and then it's a mathematical equation. We will indicate their available credit. Again, we can come into the question answer here, and we could type list of customers and available credit less than 0. And here we have a list of all of the customers, whether that is by Peter Sato or not, who have a negative available credit on their account. And lastly, we'll go to our last report, which is the GL cash position dashboard. Here, we're showing a number of quick KPIs. Total assets of 81 million, total cash of 17 million, receivables of 52 million, and below liabilities of 69 and accounts payables at $67 million. In our cash position, what we've attempted here to show is looking at the cash positions of various banks. There is a chart for a value of all combined cash accounts. Then the chart below is the cash comparison by bank on relative basis of the banks per year. In the balance per year visual, we're looking at the actual balances per year in the accounts, 2017, 2018, 2019. And then I have year-over-year change with monthly buckets to see if we can spot negative cash flow changes in banks. So those are the demos of our available report pack for reports for Power BI. As we turn to our PowerPoint, the last topic we want to address is how can we put Power BI on every desktop? Well, in a day or less, clients first can come to your offices and provide the following. In your NAV database, we can install the query objects and set up the ODATA web services. Then we would need a dedicated application server. And on that server, we would need to install the Power BI desktop and install the Power BI data gateway. We would then use the Power BI desktop to load our reports that we just showed, configure the data source to point to the ODATA web service queries, and if necessary, to make a few tweaks to perhaps change some of the visual slicers which make more sense, such as you may want to slice and dice by dimension. Lastly, we would set up to 5 users with Power BI. We'd help you set that up and sign on for a subscription. And we would provide a 2-hour guided light training of the Power BI desktop and Power BI service to allow you to make minor changes to your reports. So what are the pre-qualifications that are required? Firstly, you must be on NAV 2013 or higher. You must be licensed for at least 10 queries. In general, most of our clients have licensing for queries as a part of their base package. However, if you would not, you would need to purchase that. Users are required to have either an O365 account or set up as a user on Azure Active Directory. And as I mentioned before, we would need a server to install the Power BI desktop and Power BI gateway. Note that the space requirements are very minimal for these two software installations. I want to thank you for joining us today for this amazing webinar. If you would like to contact us, please contact Kelly Saunders, and here is her email address and our main phone number with her extension 6533. Again, thank you very much for allowing me to present these amazing reports to you. And now we will be available for questions.